Okay, so hopefully everyone can hear me and everyone can see the presentation. If you cannot, or if you have questions, because I'm sharing my screen, please unmute and just feel free to jump in and ask questions or let me know if you can't hear anything. So thank you for attending this Lunch and Learn Benefits in Brief. This one is about the dental plans. My name is Cindy Barrow, and I am the benefits manager here at Adams County. And what we're trying to do in this series is just provide employees with a little more in-depth information, but in a 30-minute time frame for employees to learn about certain benefit plans. Because what's going to come up in the fall, coming up soon in November, will be open enrollment. So this is good information to know as you go into. Let me admit folks. Okay. Hi, can everyone hear me? Great. Okay, now I can see you. Okay. So this video is being recorded, just so you know. My nasally voice and all will be recorded for posterity purposes. It's great. So we're going to go over the dental plans. This is a benefits in brief, so about 30 minutes, dive a little deeper into our dental plans. And please feel free, if you have a question, since I'm sharing my screen, it is hard for me to look at the chat. So feel free to unmute and jump in with a question or anything that you have. Okay. So first let's look at what we offer at Adams County. We offer two plans, and both plans are through Delta Dental of Colorado, and that's the EPO plan and the Premier plan. It sounds fancy, doesn't it? The Premier plan. So the big thing is, what are the differences between the two plans and which one is the best for you and your family? Well, we're going to review the plans. Go over their plan design and compare them, how they differ, so you can make that decision. Now, one thing I want to make note of is that our plans are with Delta Dental of Colorado. Most people just say Delta Dental. Well, it's technically not Delta Dental. Although they're all associated companies, we are with Delta Dental of Colorado, although it's a national network. So if you were to ever just go on the internet and search for Delta Dental and just call Delta Dental, they're not going to know who you are because you're with Delta Dental of Colorado. Don't ask me why they make it so confusing. They just do. So if you ever need to know, we do have the proper contact information. It's on the card that you get, and it's in our benefits guide. So yeah, it's I guess they want to keep people on their toes. So let's start by comparing the two plans and some of these, bigger areas. First is, what is the network? Because, networks are very important. Now, on the EPO plan, it's a little weird because you can only use what they call the PPO network of dentists. Now, it is a nationwide network. It is a vast network, but you have to go in network on the EPO plan. You don't have a choice. And like I said, it's a big network, but like I said, they got to be in that PPO network. Now, on the Premier plan, you can actually go in or out of their network and still have some level of coverage. And as with most items, if you're staying in the network, you're going to have a higher level of coverage. So that's one area, a decision point for you. Is the dentist you like to use, are they in the PPO network or not? Well, if they're not, and you really like that dentist, you may want to have the Premier plan. Like me, I tell people, my dentist, when I was a kid, never used Novocaine for all of my fillings. So I'm very particular about my dentist. And I'm in the Premier plan because the greatest flexibility is very important to me. Okay. Then what type of plan are these? Well, the EPO plan is what we call a fee for service. There's literally a list of all the dental services you can get, and there's a flat fee associated with each service, and it's a discounted fee. Now, the Premier plan works more like our medical plan. It's a co-insurance plan. So outside of preventive services, which are covered at 100%, you typically will pay an annual deductible and then you have a co-insurance. So let's say you need a crown. You would first need to meet that annual deductible, and then you pay 50% of the charges. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind, if you're on the Premier plan and you go out of the network because the dentist you like, well, that person, they don't take insurance. They just, they don't deal with that. Well, keep in mind, Delta Dental will only reimburse that dentist up to a certain amount of money when you're going out of network. They're just not going to pay the dentist whatever they want. So what you are subject to on the Premier plan, if you're going out of the network, that dentist could balance bill you. So let's say you went to an out-of-network hoity-toity dentist in Cherry Creek North, and they charge $1,000 for a crown. Well, they're not in the network, and Delta Dental is only going to reimburse them $800. They could bill you for the remaining $200. That's what balance bill is. And that's what you're subject to if you go out of the network. Most people stay in the network. Even I stay in the network. My dentist, I'm in the wider network. My dentist is, so I won't be balance billed since I'm in the network. Okay, plan benefit limits. On our EPO plan, there is no limit to the amount of services you can have done in a year. And isn't it that way with dental? It's like you're running along fine, and then one year, like anything that could happen to your teeth happens. And you're like, that's great. Yay, me. But on the EPO plan, there's no limit. However, you're paying more money because you're paying for each service, but go gangbusters, no limit on it. But in the Premier plan, because it's a co-insurance plan, it does have an annual maximum benefit. And that annual maximum benefit per person covered on the plan is $2,500. Now, anyone who's familiar with braces or implants, $2,500 sometimes doesn't go very far, but that's the annual maximum benefit. That's the most the plan will pay towards your dental services. So even though if you have a bad year for your teeth, I need, well, heck, even if you get, I think, one implant, that's going to blow through your annual maximum benefit pretty quick. So the good news is last year, the annual maximum benefit was $2,000, and for 2023, it was up to $2,500. So that's nice. And if you are on the Premier plan, what you may want to do is, if you have some flexibility on when you have services done, you may want to, if you can, have some services done one year and some services in the next, if you have that luxury. Many people don't. When you crack a tooth or something like that, you can't wait months to get it fixed. So, orthodontia. When I was a kid, only kids that really need orthodont braces got them. Now I think they just put them on every child out there, and they're not cheap. So on the EPO plan, braces are covered for adults and children. However, on our Premier plan, they're only covered for children up to the age of 19. So if you as an adult are looking, your dentist is like, yeah, you could really use some braces, the Premier plan won't cover it. The EPO plan does. So something to keep in mind there. Implants, those are big now. I think that's all they do. I don't even know what we did before. I guess they put bridges or something in. So implants, however, those are not covered at all on the EPO plan. However, they are covered on the Premier plan, but keep in mind, like I said, the annual maximum benefit on the Premier plan is $2,500 per year per person covered. So implants will blow through that pretty quickly, unfortunately. Your preventive services on the EPO plan, the cleanings are a $10 copay. All of the other x-rays, things of that nature, as long you're going in network, those are covered at 100%. And then on the Premier plan, as long as you're going in network, your preventive services are covered at 100% also. If you go out of network on the Premier plan, all bets are off. And if you do go out of network on the EPO plan, absolutely nothing will be covered if you go out of network on the EPO plan. So any questions on this slide? Okay.
Cindy, I've got one question on the PPO
Sure.
plan for the orthodontic coverage. What is the max out payment that the insurance company will do?
That'll be on the Premier plan. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, the PPO, if you go within network.
Oh, the EPO plan,
yeah,
this
the
one?
EPO. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that off the top of my head. You can contact them.
Okay.
Or I can, if you email me, I can email you the chart of coverage, because it's a long chart of what it costs, what the fee is for that.
Well, isn't that all that information in the booklet that the county sends out to employees every year?
No, it doesn't have the
Oh.
fee schedule, because that's a very, very long document.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not in the
All right.
benefits guide, but we have it. It's just not in the guide because it would be too much to put in there. But we
Okay.
can send it to you. Yeah, or
Okay.
if you wanted to call Delta Dental.
Okay, either or.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions? Okay. So plan details. I'm going to pull up the benefits guide. I'm in Zoom. I have to stop sharing and then I have to reshare. Here it is. Okay. So in our benefits guide, here we have a page on the dental plan. And Shailene, I think this is what you were referring to. What we do have in here is this is a summary of some of the general services and then how the plan covers it. And this is a nice, I didn't bother putting it in the presentation because it would probably be too small. But here you can see the green column is that Premier plan. And it shows there's one column for if you're having coverage in network, coverage for out of network. And then the blue column is that EPO plan, the fee for service plan. So here we do have some, Shailene, some of the costs there, but it's not a good full list. And as you can see here for orthodontia, $213 to $1,980. So probably if you knew already exactly what you needed, probably the best thing to do is to have your dentist call Delta Dental and find out the cost, because there's a lot of nuances with that. But that's the range you're looking at for the braces. So, and then at the bottom here, if you look at out of network for preventive services, it's like, oh, that's also $0. But oh, look, there's this little 2 there. What does that mean? And it means, Like we said, non-participating providers are allowed to balance bill. So if you choose to go out of network on the Premier plan, have it be known that if that dentist doesn't like what Delta Dental sent them for payment, they are going to bill you for the balance. And that can be substantial. Okay, but this is in our benefits guide. And for open enrollment, we're going to be also publishing another guide for 2024. Any questions on the guide here? And we can also send you an electronic copy of this guide if you'd like to look at it too. Okay, and now I have to reshare the presentation. Here we go. Okay. Okay, next, here are the premiums. So another way in which the plans differ is their cost. And the EPO plan does cost a little bit less. So under the green column, this is the Premier plan. And this first row of premiums here, this is what you would pay. And this amount comes out of the first 2 paychecks of the month. So if you want to know your monthly premium, you would just double this. So for the Premier plan, employee only, you're talking about $30 a month. And then the middle column, this is what Adams County is contributing towards your dental coverage. And then the total premium, this is the total between what you're paying and the county's paying. And you can see that in the first 2 paychecks of the month, you're paying about $10 a month more for single coverage on the Premier plan over the EPO plan. So that's something else for you to consider when you're trying to determine what plan you're going to enroll in. Okay. And then we have important items to remember. So when you make your elections, you know, you're a new employee or during open enrollment, those elections will stay in place for the entire year, that entire calendar year, unless you experience a qualifying life event. Now, if you experience a qualifying life event, that's something like, I got married, I got divorced, my spouse lost their job, my spouse gained a job, my spouse, their open enrollment is in June and I want to move on to their plan. Those are qualifying life events. However, if you ever want to change your elections because of a qualifying event, the change you're making has to be consistent with that event. So for example, you have a new baby. Oh, I want to cancel my medical, dental, and vision. Well, why do you want to do that? That's not consistent with having a new baby. Adding the baby to coverage would be consistent with that event. So having a qualifying event isn't a free-for-all and I'm going to do whatever I want. The other item to note is in no circumstance can you switch between dental plans mid-year. So if you're like, oh, I got married and I'm really not liking this Premier plan, I want to move to the EPO plan, I'm going to do that, you know, when I get married and add my new spouse to coverage. You can't do that. You can add your spouse to coverage, but it would have to be the same plan in which you're enrolled. The reasoning for that? Well, people can game the system, right? I'm going to enroll in one plan, maybe use up that $2,500 annual benefit, and then I'm going to move to the EPO plan and pay less because I don't need it the rest of the year. It's the same with our medical plans. So the only time you can switch between dental plans is during open enrollment. So that's why it's good that you all are here and you can really look at which dental plan is best for you, because like I said, during open enrollment, if you move into one plan, you're stuck with that for the rest of 2024. And it's really hard when you find out after the fact that that's not the plan for you. You're just stuck with it for the rest of the year. So that's the end of the presentation. Do we have, I'm going to stop sharing. Hopefully, can you guys see me? See, that's weird. I apologize. You guys can't see my smiling face. Because I have my camera on, it's just weird. So,
Yeah, you're not showing up, Cindy, but you did a fantastic job.
well, yeah. Thanks, Pam. I work with Pam, so she has to say those sorts of things.
No, but it's the truth, Cindy, because you answered my question regarding braces on the EPO program. So I'm gonna look into that
Okay.
further.
Okay. Any other questions that folks have? This presentation will be posted and my nice nasally voice will also be there. I am from
Bonus.
Chicago, sorry, South Side.
Oh my gosh,
Any
Southeast
questions?
Chicago?
I'm sorry?
What, you said the south of Chicago, southeast or southwest?
So, South Side Bridgeport. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, back of the yards type of stuff. So, okay.
I had a quick question.
Any,
I don't know if you can,
sure.
if you'll be able to answer this, but if you need coverage for bridges, I think I missed that part. Is the Premier plan does the Premier plan cover more for bridges?
Okay, let's do a little screen share again. Okay, so bridges. Okay, so the green column is our premier plan. Bridges are covered at 50% after your deductible, and the deductible is $50 per year per person. And then on the EPO plan, they are covered, but the cost range is between 241 and 276. Now, just keep in mind these rates are for 2023 on the EPO plan, so they may change a bit next year. So both cover them. And I'm not sure how much bridges cost, but your annual maximum benefit, the most the plan will pay in any year for any one person towards their coverage is $2,500. So hopefully
Okay,
you can
thank
get a
you.
couple of bridges out of that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Any other questions? I know dental isn't my favorite. Like I said, Dr. Ostarsky didn't use any Novocaine.
Oh
And
my
and when I
goodness.
finally realized it when I was in my early 20s, I was like, ah, you're lucky you're dead, Dr. Ostarsky. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
okay.
just got a letter from my dental office that said that the dentist is no longer accepting EPO, but only the Premier. And then I called the
Okay.
dental office and they said, oh, he's gone now. So I told her, I
Oh,
said, are you still accepting the EPO program? And she said, yeah, because I was afraid I was going to have to find another dentist.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, networks they can be a pain in the butt. You got to be really careful about that. And that's
exactly.
why another reason why you need to provide them with we're Delta Dental of Colorado and give them your card and because sometimes they just think, oh, Delta Dental. Well, no, we're Delta Dental of Colorado. So
What is the difference, Cindy?
I think it's just for them, it's more of a organizational structure
Okay,
type thing. So I think, just Delta Dental might be kind of, their national individual group. And then they have, I think, probably for group plans like us, employers, then they have Delta Dental of whatever state it is. Although, like I said, our plan is accepted nationwide. So it's not like it's only in Colorado. So I think who knows, it might be tax issues, who knows with them.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
No,
So, okay. Well, wonderful. Well, I appreciate it, everybody, and we will soon be talking about open enrollment, sending information out, because that'll be happening. It'll be starting November 6th through the 17th. So we'll be sending information out, and open enrollment this year will be what we call passive, which means you don't have to do anything if you want to keep it all the same, but for those in a flex spending account, you do have to re-enroll in that every year. So just a little plug for open enrollment.
Okay, so when the open enrollment comes on November 6th to the 17th, if we have everything and we want to keep it status quo, we don't have to go in there and sign anything or date anything. Is that my
No.
understanding?
That's correct. You won't have, if
Okay.
you want to keep your same medical, dental, and vision all your life and stuff,
Exactly.
you don't have to do anything.
Oh, good deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Okay. I know. You're welcome. You're welcome. A little good news.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
well, wonderful. Thank you, everybody, and have a good afternoon.
You too. Take care, Cindy. Bye-bye.